Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to my home studio, and welcome to another Luthiers Teardown. This is a series of guitars, This is a series of videos where I take interesting guitars and from a Luthier's point of view, take them apart as much as I can without damaging them and figure out what the builders were thinking, how they did things as much as possible, why they did them, and the whole point is for me to learn from it. I spent 20 plus years, I hesitate to actually enumerate that, building my own thing and not concentrating on what else was going on, and also not thinking too much about what happened in the past. And this was sad. Some of the best luthiers that I've ever met spent their early formative years in repair workshops, spent years and years and years repairing and restoring and investigating instruments made by other people. Of course, I start a live stream and my neighbor starts an engine. So there we go, I'm going to go shut that door. This is where we're at. We are going to investigate a very, very interesting guitar today. Let me turn this off. And let me turn this off. I'm going to go turn my neighbour off. That'll make a slight difference. Okay, now we're here. This is a live stream, and as per standard, if you want to ask me a question and want to guarantee a response, send it through a super chat. That also supports the channel and keeps these things going, and I very much appreciate it. I will check the standard chat as well, but especially when I'm doing things like taking guitars apart or building them, I get less time to look at that. If you have, well, come and check out the Sunday evening live streams as well, where that is just a standard Q&A. Okay, now, where are we? We've got Lisa Harshberger and Lisa, Jamie Krautchromer, Luna's Luthery, Garage Master Guitars, his afternoon all, King Bob's Guitar Works, good morning everyone. Rob Ashby, anybody have a link to that voicing a steel string guitar book that Ben was talking about? It's not really a book, it's just a document. I can't remember where I found it. Somebody sent me a link many years ago, but you should be able to find that. GAL, I think, Guild of American Luthiers. Very, very useful. Rab Knox, how you doing, Rab? Rab was a 3-month student at the Crimson Guitars Luthery School for a while. That while being 3 months, I suppose. Chip Prue, how you doing? Says morning, Ben. I'm good, thank you very much. You good? Sweet Tea, how you doing, Sweet Tea Guitars? Good afternoon. And Alex Fawnshaw, a bunch of people. Anyway, hi. There's a load of you and there's more coming, but what we're really here to do is drink a cup of tea. Really. I've had my allotted 2 cups of coffee today. Sad. Big Unit Guitars is in, as is KCM. How you guys doing? Okay. Now, this is not a guitar that is going to be raffled. I have my entire life wanted to have a significant collection of guitars, or at least an interesting collection of guitars. I am a collector, you just need to look at the tools, and that's who I am. And I could never justify it, and I could never figure out a way to do that. We have figured that out. We're setting up dailyguitarraffle.com, and that'll be open up for to sign up for memberships, or to, let's rephrase that. We're setting up dailyguitarraffle.com as a way to fund a very cool museum, a guitar museum based at the Crimson Guitars headquarters, that people will be able to come and visit and actually, for the most part, touch, hold, play, experience the guitars. Now, in order to fund that, we are setting up dailyguitarraffle.com. That website's going live fairly soon, and you'll be able to go along and sign up for a free membership and the newsletter, etc. Now, on that website, instead of standard raffles where it's just a Les Paul or a PRS or, you know, a bog standard Fender, we'll take the guitars. We will take them apart on camera, we will investigate, we will repair, restore, fret level, crown polish if required, all of that jazz, every single guitar. And the bulk of what we are going to be raffling to you fine people are going to be interesting, rare, non-standard, cool guitars. Anyhow, this is not one of those. This is one of the guitars that is going to be eventually paid for by revenue from dailyguitarraffle.com. And this is... I love the cases as much as I love the guitars, which is a weird one. There we are. Okay. This is one of the very first electric guitars made in the UK, built in London by Hohner, London. Now Hohner they built harmonicas and other random things. They weren't known for harmonicas and harmoniums and that sort of thing, I seem to recall. But they decided in the 60s, 50s and 60s to get into guitars, and in the early 60s, Hohner London became a thing. And this is one of the first guitars that they created. So exciting. Ah. Oh, Sweet Tea's coming with the first super chat. I need to change this so that I can actually see the questions. There we go. Thank you very much, Sweet Tea. He says, for the museum fund, purpose and longing. You're a gentleman and I very much appreciate it. This, yeah, this museum is going to be very, very cool. I've already bought far too many guitars. In fact, there's a video coming live on the main channel soon entitled I've Bought Too Many Guitars. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Okay, where are we? I absolutely love this guitar. And I really love the case. Isn't that so cool? Okay, so this is the Hohner London Kingsway. Where do I put that? It's my son's mug, by the way, the Mr. Cool mug. I dropped a mug with his name on it, and that was the only thing that came anywhere close to making up for it. Anyhow, so this is good. Lisa Harshberger asks if I've started my own raffle system now. Yes, the new website is a new raffle system. It isn't live yet. We are currently going through lawyers and the whole, it's fraught, shall we say. And we're doing it absolutely properly and carefully. Chances are if it gets up and running in time, we'll actually end up using it to do the Great Guitar Build-Off. All of those raffles, which would be very, very cool. Okay. There we go. Now, this belongs to a different guitar that I'm working on. The PVT 60 is an incredibly cool guitar. And that's what I was working on this morning, and it's that's coming together. That one will be raffled. Okay. So. As it stands, this doesn't need very much work. The neck is C-shaped and slim and very, very comfortable. It has an almost flat headstock. We're going to measure that in a bit. The nut, however, is a poorly made modern replacement. It's bone. It extrudes over the sides by about 1 millimeter, and that will need to be done. The frets have been replaced at some point very badly, so I'm going to do a little bit of work on them. The fret ends are not great, but it's not too much of an issue. The body is absolutely standard. I thought that this tailpiece must be a modern replacement, and it's not. This is the tailpiece that is on all of the versions I've seen of this guitar online. Original bridge and a very cool sounding individual pickup. Volume tone, it's cool. It is hollow, it is lightweight, and I love it. So, well, let's go. The neck is beech. I mean, how, you can't get any more British than that. Now, on top of that, the name Kingsway comes from a road that was near where these were being made in London, and in fact, the other models that they created around that time were also all named around their environment, which is a pretty cool thing. Okay, anyway, let's get some close-up footage of this. And I need to finish my tea. Damn it, I was supposed to send that footage to Talitha. There's footage in the camera over there that she's supposed to... There's too much going on. It's Monday, isn't it? Definitely feels like a Monday. Okay, now. The last guitar I weighed on this came in at 10.2 pounds. I think this is going to be a little different. It's a tad dusty. Okay, so we're in kilograms at the moment. 2.69 kilograms. Or 5 pounds, 15 ounces. Very lightweight guitar. I like it. Okay. Now, are all my lights on? It feels dim in here. There's only one more. Okay, are there any questions, people? No questions? No. Do. Yes. KCM, is the trapeze tailpiece held on by the strap button? Yes, and there are two smaller, basically tuner style screws as well, but pretty much the strap button going through is fairly standard and should be okay. All right, I'm going to get some pretty footage with this camera and then we'll see what happens. Okay, I need to see if I can actually release this camera a little bit so I can go more handheld. I'm still working on this whole system. Essentially, I've got an establishing shot. I've got a camera over here. On this side, this is number 2 now. I've got a huge mess in the workshop, of course. And then camera 3 and an overhead. But what I miss is a camera that I can just hold and go. So I'm gonna release this guy and give myself just a little bit of room to play. And hopefully that'll work. Except for the fact that my HDMI appears to be going. Alright, while I'm here messing around with this, please feed me a question or two, everybody. Ben needs an assistant. Yes. Absolutely. Okay. The biggest issue I've got with all of these guitars floating around now is that I'm really struggling with space, because guitars come in cases, and guitar cases, yeah, they cause issues. Okay. Let's see. I need to come up with a better system for locking the HDMI into this camera. For now, this will do okay though. There we go. Now, one of the points of these videos is to have close-up footage of what they actually made them out of and how they were done. You can see on the side of this guitar evidence that it's plywood, I suspect. It almost looks like end grain plywood, which would be strange. But I love the way that the finish, which just looks like milk paint or something like that, is wearing away at the hard edges. And we don't make guitars with edges like that anymore, because that is where it wears away. This texture in the finish is one of the things that I love about vintage guitars. Look at the crackle. And the pots. There's something very, very naive about what we've got going on here. Not very much movement in this in the bridge. It's got a fairly high action as it is, and I'm not going to be able to change that very much. Here's how the tailpiece is held on. And the interesting thing is that this pickup is not mounted in the guitar, it's on the top. And I think that's very cool. In fact, other than the controls over there, I don't think there is much going on inside the guitar at all. Very thin fretboard. I think that these are, I think that this is mother of toilet seat. It might be mother of pearl. I'm not entirely sure. But a rosewood fretboard. And here's the headstock. Here you can see that nut. It's bad. And with a 0 fret, of course. No truss rod, or at least no truss rod access there. Now, if we look at these frets here, look at the gap between that one and that one. That fret there is not in the right place. And you're going to see something like this on a lot of earlier guitars. People tended not to play up in the dusty reaches in any case. And they didn't really build things to the same level of precision that we do nowadays, a lot of the time. And this goes for many, 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 even higher end, better guitars. Let's put that there. What did I just push on? Key. Ooh, I just pushed a button on my thing that I've never seen before. We're still online, that's all right. So she's a bolt-on. I'm trying to get a better look at the crackle in the finish here. Can you see the V in that neck? And the lightweight open back tuners. Well, there we go. Okay, so this guitar is going to live in the collection and be available for people to come and visit in the not too distant future. The plans for the museum are actually moving ahead rather swiftly. My old studio at Crimson headquarters, which is actually quite a large room, and in which we could probably fit 100 or so guitars, even spread out and displayed rather nicely. That's going to be the initial home for this museum, and this beautiful thing will end up there permanently. So, should we take her apart? Let's see what we've got. Okay, I really need to sort out a hard point attached HDMI lead for that. Okay, cool. Queries and questions. You beautiful people. Lisa Harshberger says, am I the only one here who wants to work for Ben's museum? I'm very much looking forward, hey Robert R, I'm very much looking forward to having it be its own entity in such a way that it actually needs to have employees and has enough going on to justify that sort of thing. Yeah, as it is a, what's the word? Passion project, that's it. It's a passion project, and out of that passion project we're all seeing guitars that we wouldn't really have given the time of day to necessarily. I certainly wouldn't have. Is this not loud? Okay, so just check out the acoustic response. I mean, hold on, okay. Let's go from the sublime to the ridiculous. Give me a second. That guitar there, made in the early 1960s, is very, very, very loud. Ah, hold on, other side of the room. This guitar here, trying to find a flat space to put it down. Hold on, I've got to get it out the case. Be with you in a second. This guitar here is the height of modern guitar making, and obviously Fender Acoustitronic. Phosphor bronze strings, of course. That sounds better acoustically, for sure, and it sounds a little bit louder, but that's not far off, is it? Interesting. Okay, I'm going to put this off. This is a guitar that I'm actually going to be taking apart 4 parts. We're going to rip her apart and see what we can do with the electronics. Don't sue me, Fender. Oh, nope, hold on. This is the one that needs to go away. So a lot of early electrified guitars were technically not solid bodies. A lot of early electrified guitars were not solid bodies. They were jazz guitars that had pickups put onto them, and we look at it and go, hey, there's an archtop guitar, it's got a pickup on it, and that makes it an electroacoustic or whatever. But you're not looking at the internals. The internals of a lot of those guitars made in the 30s and 40s, etc., were blocked off. So it might look like an acoustic jazz guitar, but instead of being allowed to ring out, they had pieces of wood joining the top and the back, and stopping all of that vibration to turn it into essentially a solid body, or I suppose a solid body guitar with tone chambers. And that's, I think, what we've got going on here. Anyhow, acoustotronic, acoustophonic, poopy pants. What the hell is that guitar called? We've got the Graphtec Ghost acoustophonic system. Acoustotronic. There we go. Too confusing for me. Simple mind. Simple mind. For now, let's take this beauty apart. Mick Tattersall says, "G'day from Australia, mate. How you doing? Welcome to the chaos." Paul Needs says, "Sounds like Ben's talking about Gibson trestle bracing there." So obviously, yes, Gibson definitely did that, but pretty much everybody did at that in the early days. So these old strings are old and shall be replaced. So loosen those off so that we don't damage anything. My favorite cutters, these are by Morn Industries. Sheesh, I'm useless. Completely forgotten. Something cool going on here. It is the Acoustasonic. That's from Luthiers, Luna's Luthery. Okay, I'm going to give you a second. Can you see what's going on here? We don't have side dots, for one. 3, 5, 7, 9, 12 with a single dot. Somebody put 2 dots at the 13th. And they did a masterful job of hiding it. Isn't that cool? It's only here that you really see it. Anyhow, so we've got some fairly crappy frets that need some work. The fretboard itself has got all sorts of scratches and nastiness going on. So I need to take this neck off and tidy that. The nut is stuck in place. It needs to be replaced. So I'll do that tidying up. It's important to me that the guitars are playable, if at all possible, in the museum. But first of all, let's get this neck off. Whoa, haha, not attached. Of course it's not attached. Look at that, that's very rough in there. Fairly sure it is the original bridge. Flathead screws holding it in. Oh, that's just an absolute standard cup washer. I like that. And of course that strap button, that might also be screwed into the neck as well, we'll have to see. I'm sitting here designing new guitars based on something made in the 60s. Just because cup washers is such a cool, easy thing to do. The obligatory shim. Whoa. And even more. Okay, so that it looks like an offcut of the same material that the scratch plate was made out of. So it wouldn't surprise me if these shims are actually contemporary with the manufacturing of the guitar itself. Yep, same thickness, same stuff. Cool. Okay, now obviously we've just come into the guitar, and yes, it is plywood. I didn't see that gap actually while the neck was on, although it should have been obvious. It's plywood and it's slabbed. They haven't even bent ply around the edge. It's just a solid chunk of plywood that they've hollowed out. Well, well, well. Okay. Now we've seen some plywood guitars made recently, last year's Great Guitar Build-Off, for example, that were very, very, very cool. I don't think it's necessarily such a bad thing. Okay. I want to look inside. Before we get to the frets, I want to have a look inside this instrument. So, let's see. Careful to keep these in the orientation they were in. Probably not important, but still. I need a tiny flathead screwdriver. I don't think this is tiny enough. Oh, no. That'll do. Tiny little screw. Now, I want to know what's happening with this pickup actually. How is it even held in place? Yeah, there's something going on under there. Okay. Having some trouble with one of these screws here. It's fairly delicate. How many of you guys watch the live stream and then come back and watch the edited video afterwards? It's sort of twisting in its in place. So I'm going to need to use the scratch plate itself to pull it up. There we go. Whew. Lisa says, me, but I much prefer the live stream and would like a channel just for edited vids, please. There is a channel just for edited vids. Go to, yeah, we don't do live streams on the main channel. Airfire says, I watched the edited video if I think I wasn't paying attention in the live stream, which happens more often than you might think. Hell, I'm the guy filming it. Oh, wow. Move the camera, sorry guys. I'm the guy filming it and I don't pay attention sometimes to the live stream. Pulling up. So plywood loses when it's got screws going in it. It's not very good at holding screws, basically. I wonder. This isn't something I've ever had to even think about. No, I don't want to scratch that. What am I doing? I'm struggling to go into a control cavity in a guitar I don't need to get into. It's pure interest. Right. So, fret pullers helped with that one. Do. Oh, we're coming. Okay. I'm going to have to put two. I'm going to have to strengthen these holes in the top, probably with some thick super glue or something like that, so that this is less of a problem next time anybody needs to get in here. Mainly because that somebody's probably going to be me in 30 years. Oh, that one was easy. Nice. Okay. There we go. So those two screws were actually pretty well caught in the scratch plate, so I needed to get rid of them. We've got a very short wire here, so let's just get this off. I am not sure if this jack socket is original. There are a lot of very weird phone sockets and things going on. Okay, that jack's this is a problem, that's just swiveling and you can't see what's going on. Hold on. Okay, so that's just the whole jack is moving, which isn't ideal. What am I gonna do? I need to loosen that nut while holding the jack socket itself. I'm gonna have to hold it, probably actually using the trusty old fret pullers, which are nice and sharp, and that means I'm going to need to use a tiny adjustable spanner, potentially, if I can find it. Where's that gone? My tools, nobody knows. Okay. Okay, so what I need to do is hold on to the jack there. And then loosen the nut. And then we see what happens. Ha-ha! Total success. That wasn't awkward or weird in the slightest. Okay, and that washer is just sitting there. That material feels different to the scratch plate somehow. Yeah, okay, so we've got some electrical tape in here. This is a modern replacement metal. Ha, okay, that's the thing, it's different. Just a badly replaced jack. So, yeah, okay. I'm going to need to desolder that to get this thing off. That nut is looks nasty. Hold on. Can I use this tool again? I wonder if it'll actually turn off. I don't want to scratch the jack plate, essentially. No. There we go, just snip the whole thing off. No damage. No wonder. So that's actually obviously a piece of brass. Can't believe I didn't see that. That's been sacrificed to the gods of Luthiery. And I don't have a problem with that. And then my jack socket can just go all the way through, or not. Nope, not. Fine, we have to desolder that anyway. Daniel Wooten says, Ben, do you not have a Leatherman on your belt? That's a very good point. I really do. I was looking for a pair of not needle nose pliers, but bending pliers with the round tips, thinking I could put it in there and use it like circuit pliers. I should really get some circuit pliers, shouldn't I? But didn't have that in the end. Okay. Okay, soldering iron on. So while the soldering iron heats up, you can see the pickup is actually just screwed directly to the top with this little tongue there. And yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's hidden underneath there. It would have been... Today, I would have recessed that at least a little bit, or had a little recess on the underside of the scratch plate here so that it didn't look quite so janky. But you know what? This is one of the things we like about these guitars, is just how different they are. They didn't think the same. Okay, so here's a question from Buck Rogers. He says, if most guitars are around 1 3/4 inches or 44 millimeters thick, why is that the standard and what happens if they are thinner? Nothing. Nothing happens if they're thinner, except they're a little bit lighter and probably more comfortable for the most part. So a lot of Ibanez's are thinner. A lot of guitars I've made in the past are thinner. Some quite significantly so. Well, I've got a fruit fly in my workshop. This guitar is obviously much, much thinner. But I think that is the standard simply because... hold on, I don't want to scratch this at all. I think that's the standard simply because that's what Fender do. 32.5 millimeters thick, this guitar. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Okay. Hold on. It's getting a little hot in here, so I'm just going to open the door again. It seems the neighbour has stopped the noise. Is there a bridge ground wire? I think there is. Well, no. I don't think there's a bridge ground wire, but there is a ground wire, and I suspect it's going to the tailpiece. We'll get there in a second. I need to pour more of my drinking water onto this sponge for the soldering iron. There we go. Okay. I know what's happened here. So I'm just going to replace this jack with a better one. Okay, cool. I can see what's going on there. So many early guitars had strange phone jacks, or it did not become homogeneous. So anyway. So we've got our pickup wire going all the way there, and we've got a ground wire, I think, going to, well, and I've just disconnected the ground wire. My gosh, I can't believe that's still working. Ah! Like, seriously, look at these things. Crikey. All right, sorry, got distracted there for a second. Yeah. This is somewhat insane. I want to clean under there and yeah, see what we can do. Okay. Let's have a look at this pickup as well. Not that I know of.
It came out when we got back from holiday, didn't it?
Yeah, it should be in that corner. Okay, so we've lost the foot pump for the kids' bicycles. Hello, puppy. How are you? Oh, up you come. Oh, there we go. Oh, watch the microphone. Yeah. That's it. You just jump in the arms and then sleep. What are you eating? Dogs are disgusting. I'm not sure if you guys understand. Anyway. Okay, so yep, nothing special. The wire just goes straight through. There we go. Oh, we've got pen. You can see where it was drawn. Oh, come on, Ben. Okay, I was hoping to be able to get into the pickup itself, but I don't want to break it. That appears to be solid and well put together. Okay, before I do anything else, I'm going to clean up some of this gunk and yeah, let's get rid of that. And then we can concentrate. Just standard fretboard and finish cleaner. All right. All right, I'm going to leave you guys looking at this for a second. I just want to go and help Tanya see if she can find this thing. Our boy has been promised a bike ride, and obviously he can't do that if he doesn't have a tyre. This is the one problem with live streams, etc. So I'm going to go and see what's happening. Yeah, I'll be back in a second. I will be back in a second. And yeah, audio off as well. And we're back. Okay. Excellent. What did I miss? Talking about the prices of ply. It would be great if you could move the squirrel with the power of your mind. Okay, there we go. Always put the lid on. Although that normally has a spray top, which I just haven't bothered fitting yet. Mixed Guitars has come in with a question. Says, thanks for a great summer of GGBO. How has it been logistically from the business side? Any big challenges that might be addressed next year? Thank you very much for participating. It has gotten so much smoother than previous years. It hasn't actually nearly bankrupted me this time, which is great. Last year was intensely stressful. I really nearly didn't do GGBO again. It was just, it cost far too much and took far too much time and really it damaged. Well, anyway, it's fine, it's done. So this year has been much better, and my mother's been doing a lot of the admin in partnership with Talitha, my sister, and Bear, who is one of the editors, alongside Talitha. It's gone a lot smoother, and I think that next year will be even better. Nothing majorly comes to mind, except for the fact that the invitational side of things has taken a lot more work than we had hoped. It just is what it is. Next year, invitational and professional side, I'm hoping is going to be massive. It makes everything interesting, seeing what professionals or professional YouTubers do, and it adds to the interest. Sorry. So yeah, but I think that we've got the format. I think that we've got the voting. I think that we've got the way that everything's going to be raffled off, and all of that. All of that is honing in on something that just works, and you guys are all enjoying it. Whereas, yeah, I haven't heard of any major complaints other than lack of response to some emails and bits and pieces like that, which are par for the course at the moment on particularly busy days. But yeah, it's all good. I love that pen there. Anyway, let's get this back installed. I'm not going to replace these. It's not an expensive guitar. It functions. I'm going to hit it with some switch cleaner and just leave the original electronics in there. I don't. Yeah, even the capacitor I think is original. So wherever possible on these guitars, I'm going to leave it as such. If it's something that looked like this that I was raffling, different story. But yeah, let's find that switch cleaner. Okay, so what we've got here is a fairly thick back, probably 1/2 inch, and then a very thin top, which is actually, let's just get a ruler, shall we? So this top here is 3 millimeters. So what's that? About an eighth of an inch, and it's got a solid section down to there. So where the bridge is actually hollow and has some movement in it, and it's hollow all the way up to here, and we'll be able to hear it actually. Whoops. Stops there. That's not in focus. Come on, camera. There we go. Let's do that again, shall we? So it's hollow up to, it's solid in this area underneath the tailpiece, and then becomes hollow all the way around up to about here. So around the neck pocket. Oh, you, come on, the silly camera. So it's solid underneath the logo and around the neck pocket. Cool. Lol, camera says no, that's mixed guitars and everybody else. Okay. I tell you, live streams actually stress me out. You got people watching silly things happen. I'd like to make a guitar like this. I honestly think that making a guitar in this method could be fine. You could even say premium, given the price of good quality plywood these days. Anyway. Okay, let's have a look and see where this ground wire goes, shall we? SMI says, but we like seeing Ben being silly. Ben gets very embarrassed when he does stupid things on camera. But anyway. I suppose I should be used to it by now. And there we go. So that there is my ground wire. Beautifully, it looks like worm damage. It's actually just they've screwed it through, left all the dust in place, whacked the wire through, and then put it together. Fair enough. Screw holes don't actually quite line up with the tailpiece. There we go. Noel Todd said I had a Hohner President 1956, worst guitar I've ever had. This is actually a Hohner, but I've made that mistake myself a lot of times. The Hohner Presidents can be terrible. I have, however, also played some good ones. I've got to raffle some guitars off because of what happened at the Gardner Hallgate auction last week. I might have bought far too many guitars, and most of them are for the collection, meaning I'm personally now majorly in the hole and somewhat in trouble on top of that. But anyway, now this wire here, the shielding is perishing around the live bit, so I'm going to put a little bit of heat shrink over that, and I'm going to have to repeat that statement because I wasn't filming. So this is the wire to the jack. The shielding around the output wire is corroding, so I'm going to use some heat shrink just to protect that. Is that big enough? Nope, not quite big enough. This is that. There we go. He's been playing with that. Are we live? Fantastic, we're back. Okay, cool. Daniel Wharton says, did you get the Dan Armstrong set at the auction? I did not. There was something else. I do want one. I desperately want the guitar. The bass had been modified with a forearm carve that I didn't like. For the museum, I want stuff that's as original as possible. But yes, there was the Hohner 191 twin neck that I particularly wanted. And that sort of drove all thought of everything else out of my head to a certain extent. Okay, so, all right, I'm just going to reinstall this ground wire. I can't actually see where it, there we go. Yeah, okay. Just tin that while we're about it. Out of the way. Thought that might happen. Okay, get rid of that. I don't like using solid core wires for anything really. There's just not enough flexibility, as was evidenced by the fact that this thing fell off where it was supposed to be. But it is what it is in this case. Right, let's find a jack socket, shall we? There we go. All right, so good quality switchcraft. Yep, nice little switchcraft jack socket. This will do what I want. Maybe camera tool will stay focused this time. It really won't. What are you focusing on? Wait. It doesn't seem to be good at finding white. So if there's nothing to focus on here, it'll stay out of focus. Fair enough. Okay. Hopefully that's all working. Don't disconnect. If you're building guitars, seriously, please give a little bit more, leave a little tail of wire, leave a little bit more room for the people who come behind you. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna tin the jack socket. Let's have a slightly smaller pair of needle nose pliers this time. You poop. What was that we were saying earlier about me doing silly things on camera? It happens a lot. Okay. There's the live. There we go. Now, I'm not sure if I've learnt anything from this guitar so far, except that this construction technique is a valid option, and I actually really like it. Maybe we could make budget guitars, you know, maybe slap some flame maple veneer or something front and back and put a sunburst on it, but you know, the plywood guitar company, why not? Now I just need to make sure that my jack socket's not going to foul up on anything as it goes in. We should be okay. That, I understand. I absolutely understand what that shielding paint tape was for earlier. So earlier on there was some shielding tape in here, and I wasn't entirely sure what it was for, because the jack wasn't, I don't know, electrical tape. The jack wasn't fouling on shielding paint inside the cavity, for example. What was happening was this little bit of shielding here was grinding out on the tip. So I'm going to have to do exactly what they did now. And I wouldn't have noticed that if I hadn't put that jack in at this point. So there we go. I do have some forethought sometimes. Now, where's my tape? It's going to be in the tape drawer. Nope. So what I should have done is heat shrink on both the live and the ground, and that would have just tidied up the whole thing. Absolutely would have been better. As it is, this works, and we can now install the jack properly. That hole's far too big, so that was probably some sort of a 5-pin or 6-pin telephone cable thing. What do I do? Oh, there's a comment here from Lisa Harshberger, says, "You doing silly things helps us amateurs realise we can do this." I was getting mum up, so this is a late reply, sorry. Absolutely no worries. If there's one thing that I am most proud of, it's the fact that I do manage to make guitar building look easy, because in reality it is, for the most part. At least building electric guitars does not need to be a massively complex thing. There we go. So just putting a locking washer in there has sort of centrally located the jack to a certain point. I do need another washer though, just to make it look nice. Okay, locking washer. Washer. Does that fit? It does. Woohoo! Okay, so that's now sitting in there, and that locates in the too large hole. So that washer goes on there, locates to a certain extent on that, and you got a washer. Whoops, then you drop that and look like an idiot. A ham-fisted fool who doesn't deserve to have a workshop. There we go. Nice and central. We're good to go. there we go. Let's put that back on. Is that actually focused? So, oh no, I've just broken that damn ground wire again. I've just broken that damn ground wire again. Okay. I am going to solder some flexible wire from that to there and just be done with it. I also need to fill some of these holes just with a dab of super glue. Just to solidify things up. Thin. There we go, here's some medium. Medium super glue with a wicking tip. Should do the job all right. Okay, so when you just set up a tube like this, don't just go over the guitar and immediately start spooging glue away. Run a test drip somewhere off site just to see what's happening. And here we go, I've got no movement, so actually this is this needs to be poked out. Damn it. Yeah, the last thing you want to do is have a wicking tip fall off and just spurt super glue all over your guitar, specifically if it's a beautiful vintage thing like this, or at least a vintage thing like this. What do you think? Is this a beautiful guitar or not? Rabnock says, why put glue in the holes? That'll just make it harder to get out next time, surely. Nope, not at all. The screws are going to go in. Essentially, I've now solidified the plywood that was starting to disintegrate. It means that as the screws go in, they're going to tap into something a little bit harder than the soft and crumbling wood, which means they'll go out much smoother, rather than just get stuck in a sort of mess of sawdust, really. And that's why I put the glue in before doing this job. It's giving it a chance to cure before I actually put the screws in. Okay, so I've put a flexible section of wire on the pot, and now I can just I can solder that to the end of the solid core grounding wire and be done. Again. But yeah, that's now a lot more flexible. Perfect. Now, before we do anything else, I'm actually going to put it into an amp and see if we've got any scratching, etc. on the pots. Make sure that it's all working. I don't want to put all those screws in to just have to take them out again. I don't know where I'm going. Now, what's that? 3. I think that tone control is working. It's very hard to tell. Okay. Come on then. Look, I'm flagging. I'm running out of energy. I'm going to string this guitar up before I put those screws in. Oh, let's put that on camera. I think that tone control is working, but I can't be 100% sure. It's hard to tell when you're just tapping away on the pickup. So I'm not going to put these screws in straight away. I'm going to string the guitar back up after I've done the fretwork and the nut and all of that. So yeah, we're there pretty much. Let's leave this alone for now and address the neck. Hello, neck. It was a really bad joke, wasn't it? Also, get rid of that. Yeah, Matt Toman says it sounds the same to him. I feel the same way. Okay. Now, it's very important to clean up and make some space. Yes. No, I need that. I need that. These can go away. Whoops. That's cool. It is cool. Okay. I'm literally running out of flat places onto which to put a guitar body now. That'll do. What are we doing? We're going for 2 hours. I'm wondering about coming back tomorrow and finishing this tomorrow. Okay. This is one of the worst refrets I've seen in a long time. Not a single one of these frets appears to be properly seated. I can get my fingernail all the way underneath here. I have no truss rod. I have no truss rod. Okay. Things just got real, folks. Okay, so I've got no truss rod, and I do have a really rather huge bow in the neck. It is, I've got nearly 1 millimeter of space in the middle. That is far too much relief. Where? Oh, where? Aha! There it is. Okay. 0.7. My 0.7 millimeters or 0.028 of an inch feeler gauge it slips underneath that. That is not good enough. So I have got a decision to make. I've got a bad fret job, I have got no truss rod, and I've got too much forward bow. Now, I'm not trying to make this guitar into something that I can take and gig and, you know, play on the daily. A lot of these older guitars, you can't really do that, or it's not financially viable to do that. But also, I want it to at least be somewhat playable. Okay. Oh, I just dropped my... there we go. Go on, you go there, that's fine. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, it is actually about 14 there where it's been flattened. It's got about a 14-inch radius on the fretboard. Somewhere between a 12 and a 14. Now, my problem is I could probably actually hit each one of these frets that's too high in, seat them properly, and just work with them. Or I could do a refret, rip all of these out, and put in fret wire with a wider tang to see if I can put a back bow into the neck. I could also potentially heat up the neck and yeah, try and straighten it. I don't know what I want to do. What do you think? Okay. Yes, SM Myers, changing the fretboard would negate the point of buying the guitar for the museum. Paul Need says, I think I'd just leave it as is for a display piece. Rab Knox says refret. Cameron Gore says refret. If I do a refret, it won't be today, I'll tell you. I don't have the correct wire for it. To be honest. Okay. I am not going to fit a truss rod. Dave Lewis says, Ben, go put your feet up and drink something. Finish it tomorrow, man. I've never experienced beach for a neck before this point. I think technically when I've been asked in the past, I've said, yeah, go for it, it should be fine. But yeah, anyway. I think it's fine. Do it, do it, do it. Burn it, from Phil Richards. Go to the road, he says, do it, do it, do it, do it, or don't. Yeah, this is the thing, Cameron Gore is correct. If you want the museum piece to be playable, then refret. Otherwise, then it would be fine to leave it be. But this is the thing. On top of the museum, we're here to learn and to teach. I haven't done a refret in a hell of a long time. The fretboard itself is really manky. The last time somebody did a refret on this, whoever it was, you need to come to the Crimson Guitar School of Luthiers and be taught how to do it properly, or at least practice on things that are not as nice as this. I am going to regret this, but I'm going to do a refret. So I need to go to Crimson headquarters tomorrow and find the wire that I need, and I also need to think about I need to try and find some sort of a system for heating the neck. We haven't done that sort of thing before, so I need to work out a heating element. In fact, this is a product that I want to put together for Crimson in any case. So this guitar might well join the realms of the others that sit on the shelf for a couple of weeks while I figure things out. So, yeah. Damn it. That's annoying. Anyway, no Luna's Luthier, I'm not going to do a poll. This one I'm taking for myself. Okay, hold on for a second. I have to turn the microphone off because a child has just appeared as if out of nowhere. And I don't have any children. No, I have children. It's definitely mine. Hold on. It's fine. Microphone's on now. Okay, so yeah, let's have a close up here of what I'm dealing with, and there will be a live stream hopefully later in the week where I refret this baby. So here you can see just how bad the fretboard is. We've got lots of scratches, lots of issues. That's not great. You've got tear out, and since I am putting this guitar in the museum, I'm going to do the job properly. This is a refret. These frets are not original. This fretboard surface is not original. Can you see just how bad that is? Not sure if you can see that on camera. Anyway, so this is turning into a long-term video. I'll be back in a couple of days, hopefully a couple of days, with the right fret wire with a slightly wider tang, or I'm going to have to take some fret wire and then manually smack it to mushroom out the tang to then push the neck back. I'm also going to look and see if I can find some elements with which to make a tool to heat this neck up to hopefully bend it back straight. I'm not too worried. I think that I can. It was basically playable when I picked it up. I can just make it more so. Alrighty, so queries, questions. Big Unit Guitar says, Ben, if you span the neck between two tables or chairs and hang a cinder block in the center, will it take the back bow out? Not permanently. I don't think so. No, it needs heat in order to relax the fibers in the neck and do that slowly. So essentially, you clamp it with. What I actually want to do is clamp some back bow into it. Initially, I'm going to see how much back bow I can put in just by using the frets to fix the situation. And that is something that I've done gently in the past, but I've always had a truss rod to go back on. This is about, well, there's no truss rods. So I'm going to do that. And then once I've seen how much I can fix it without heat, I'm going to then, if I have to, yeah, get some heat. So, well, here's my shopping list. Frets, heating element, and some 9-gauge strings, or lighter, or less than. That's the less than symbol. I've got the nut. This is cool. This is going to be cool. These tuners are okay. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, if you guys have any questions or queries, then hit me now. Super chat's much appreciated, but anything goes. And if not, I'm going to call it a day. Joseph Rogers says, would it ruin it to sand the fretboard flat? Yes, I do think that it would have had a radius of some sort. So I'm going to go for that. Jeff Williams says, Ben, go to Dave's World of Fun Stuff and check out his neck heater. I'd forgotten about that. He is in Great Guitar Build-Off Invitational, which is a really cool thing. Dave's neck heater. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to what he's going to do there. Phil Gallagher says, when attempting to remove flathead screws using fret pullers, Ben, no, I don't want to scratch that. It's called a scratch plate. Haha, it is called a scratch plate. Very good point. Would a re-radius of the neck help solve the neck damage? I will do a little bit of sanding and re-radiusing. I'm also going to fill that. There's going to be some dust and glue repair work as well in there. Did I rock the frets? How bad is it? I have not rocked the frets. I don't think I really want to, because this is going to be bad. Let's see. Aha. Okay, I was worried there. Those are absolutely fine. That there, hold on. Yep. It's very bad. Very, very bad indeed. Okay, hold on for a second. Awesome wants to run away. You can't run away. There's a camera there, and you're not allowed to be on camera because you're just gonna don't no, because you'll get in trouble. Hold on. Go. They saw you. Dang it. There's a look as a hold on as a we had to make the decision with the children whether they were going to be on social media or not, and absolutely, I mean, the decision was fairly basic. No, of course we don't want to put them on social media until they are old enough to make the choice themselves. He actually is old enough, and it's fine. But I'm also sticking with the rule that he's got a few more months before he can be on camera. So there we go. It's silliness, really, at this sort of age, but what the hell. Anyway. We're all good. Slave to the ink says, hang on, there is a fret just after the nut. So yes, that's a 0 fret. Essentially, the nut is not acting as a nut from a height point of view. It's just guiding the strings. And it means that when you're playing open chords, the string sounds it's like a brass nut, or every single string individually sounds similar because it's coming off of a fret rather than a bone nut or a plastic nut. So there we go. KCM says, does a 0 fret actually do anything? It does from a sound point of view, yes, it does. I personally don't like them because it removes the adjustability that you get from having a nut and being able to adjust saddles, etc. Stilgar says, T. Woodford have some nice videos on straightening necks that don't have truss rods with the help of heat. I absolutely love his videos. Hell, I can't remember what I was doing. I remember exactly what I was doing. I was playing guitar. I one headphone with my phone in, watching T. Woodford videos on that. Another headphone plugged into the Kemper, while sort of noodling away on a guitar, getting to know a random guitar that will be on the show at some point soon. And yeah, I watched a bunch of his videos. He's very, very cool. So there we go. Lisa says, is the body ply with cavities, ply please, or ply with cavities, ply? Too many plies, I don't understand the question. Absolutely, ply. Dave says, I have an adjustable 0 fret nut. Lisa Harshberger says, will the museum be online as well? I would like to write up history and research on the instruments. I'm cheap, like free. Being an at-home caregiver can be boring. Lisa, drop me an email, stream@crimsonguitars.com. The online portion of it, at the very least, is these videos that well, this is the live stream, but there's going to be an edited video, and yes, there will be photographs and there will be videos of most guitars, I suspect, on the channel. And yes, if you fancy doing write-ups and stuff, I don't like the word free as much as I like the word free. I don't like the word free, but we should have a chat for sure. I'm not entirely sure what the museum is going to look like in its entirety, but yeah, we'll get there. Okay, Adam Patterson says, check the end of the neck isn't just kicked up because of the shims giving you a fake relief on the notched straight edge. I mean, looking at that, that's actually really weird. Sheesh, this is a strange old guitar. Hold on. Wow. So the neck, sorry, this is digressing, I just spotted this. The neck is 21 millimeters, the neck blank is 21 millimeters here, and it's 20 millimeters or less there. That's insane. Anyway, look, the children are home. I am going to go away and have a look. Matt Toman says, what is a top wood? It is ply. Paul Need says, T. Woodford's a bloody genius in my book. I agree. J Hammer 42 says, could you re-radius the fretboard to 12 and then machine a slot for a carbon rod and add a skunk stripe? I could, I shall not. This is to go in the museum. It needs to be in pretty original condition if at all possible. The only reason I'm even considering doing these frets is because it's an obvious refret and has been poorly done. But it is what it is. Anyway, you guys rule. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go and make sure the two children that have just arrived are all good, and I'm going to find a cup of tea to shove down my pie hole because I need the caffeine, and we'll get there. This was supposed to be a quick and easy guitar to play with for a few hours, and it's turning into a major project. of course. But we wouldn't warrant anything else, would we? I'll see you guys soon. Have a good rest of your week. And watch this space. There will be another live stream, hopefully later in the week, with this guitar. We'll see.